Sermon 4. Confident, held by grace today and forever. Theme, living with hope, knowing God's goodness and mercy never leave us. Psalm 23:6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We often look for God's presence in the big moments. Healing, provision, breakthroughs. But what about the slower days? During my recovery, when progress felt invisible, I realized something powerful. God's goodness and mercy weren't ahead of me. They were behind me, quietly following, never letting go. Psalm 23 doesn't end in fear. It ends in confidence. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. That's not just poetic. It's personal. Even when life slows down, even when the house gets quieter or the body grows weaker, the shepherd is still holding us today, tomorrow, and forever. His grace is not based on how strong we are. It's based on how faithful he is. The fourfold care of the shepherd in the final verse. In this closing verse, the shepherd doesn't just walk beside us. He follows, he sustains, he welcomes, and he secures. Number one, he follows you. You're never without his grace. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. That's what the verse says. The word for follow in Hebrew is radaf. It means to pursue. It means to chase down. This isn't casual or distant. God's love is aggressive in pursuit, even when we're tired or slow. Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. These verses remind us that God's mercies are new every morning. Luke 15:4. This verse tells us that the shepherd leaves the 99 to find the one. So I encourage you, even when you feel forgotten by others, God is still chasing you with his love. His goodness didn't stop in your youth. It didn't fade in retirement. It's still active today. Number 2, he sustains you. You're not running on empty. Verse 6 says, all the days of my life. Not just a couple days or a few days, not just the good days. All days. That includes days of sickness, weakness, waiting, or grief. Isaiah 46:4 is a great reminder. It says, even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he. I will sustain you. 2 Corinthians 4:16. It says, though outwardly we are wasting away, inwardly we are being renewed day by day. Your purpose didn't expire with your strength. God's mercy is your daily strength. His joy is our strength. He is not just saving you for eternity. He is sustaining you right now. Number 3, he welcomes you. You belong in his house. That's what verse 6 says, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord. David doesn't say, I hope or maybe. He says, I will. That's the confidence of someone who knows the shepherd. John 14, verses 2 and 3. It says, in my Father's house are many rooms. It also says, I go to prepare a place for you. Psalm 27, verse 4. It mentions to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. You have a home, not just a memory of what was, but a promise of what is to come. Your place in God's presence is guaranteed. You are not waiting in vain. Number 4, He secures you. Forever is already yours. That's what we see in verse 6. Forever. The shepherd's love doesn't stop at death. It carries us through it and beyond it. Romans 8:38 and 39. Nothing can separate us from the love of God. 1 Peter 1 and 4. It says, an inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade is kept in heaven for you. You're not losing. You're gaining eternity. Heaven is not a vague hope. It is the shepherd's final gift to you. He will carry you all the way there. A lifetime of grace. A future without end. The shepherd has followed you in mercy. The shepherd has sustained you with daily strength. The shepherd has welcomed you into his household, and the shepherd has secured you for eternity. You may be older now, but you are not less loved. You may be feeling down, but you are not less valuable. You may be feeling broken, grieved, but you are not less pursued. You are still being followed by grace. You are still part of the story, and you will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So I challenge you this week, declare this aloud each morning. Goodness and mercy are following me today, and I am being carried into eternity with hope. Let this renew your spirit. Let this remind you of your worth. Let this anchor you in peace. Lord, I thank you that your goodness and your mercy never stop chasing us. Even in old age, even in weakness, even in sickness, you are still strong. You say in your word that your strength is made perfect in our weakness. Let every listener feel your presence today. Remind them that they are being carried by grace. They are being pursued by love. And they are destined for glory. In Jesus' name, amen. You are not living out your last chapter. You are walking with the shepherd into eternity. His mercy never expires. His goodness never runs out. And your place in his house is already prepared. Be blessed in the Lord. Amen.